What's up everybody, welcome back to the YouTube video. We're out here in London today, the city of, because we're trying to get some baseline numbers and basically just a look at the physique, a look at where we're at right before surgery. So I've got surgery in 2 days time. For those of you guys who don't know, I have an umbilical hernia, so unfortunately I'm going to get that done on. So we're here at Body Scan at the Stone Health Clinic, down around, I think it's quite close to Bank actually, so if you're in central London, definitely come down here. And we're going to get a body scan, a DEXA scan, the first time I'm going to be doing this, so we can get a good look at to what body fat percentage, what muscle mass is, if there's any differences between left and right, and all these kinds of things are going to be gone through here. So I thought this would be a good, like, this is where I am before my surgery, and then we'll compare after in about 4 weeks time. So without further ado, let's take the letters in. So the chat was just saying how actually like I might be a similar body fat to, or I could be a similar body fat to Matt, as in Matt does fitness. My muscle mass, because it's higher, might actually push that muscle, that fat down, because I've got a more percentage of muscle to body fat. So he's trying to say that basically body fat is not that important. It's the combination of everything involved in your body, and a lot of people get obsessed with the number. 10%, I want to be 8%, I want to try and beat this percent. And largely, it's just how much muscle have you got, how much fat have you got, and those are the answers that you need to get.
Wow, okay, 113, and step away please. So I've got you 184.7.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
That's 105 kilos I can be on stage.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right, Josh, so this is your report. Your first DEXA scan?
Yeah, first one ever.
Okay, all right. So the first thing we see there is the image of you. So DEXA measures 3 things: bone, fat, and lean. And fat is orange, and as you can see from the picture there, there's kind of no orange. We look at the results down here. So we split the body into the major regions of arms, trunk, and legs. And your fat mass is 16.2 kilograms. Okay, now that's just total fat mass. And your body fat percentage, we'll jump straight to the chase because I know that's what everyone is interested in, is 14.3%. Now that will sound like a lot, right? So first of all, there's a thing to say about DEXA and other measurement methods. So DEXA tends to give you a higher number than other measurement methods. Every measurement method will give you a different result, like bioimpedance scales, underwater weighing, calipers, DEXA, etc. Where DEXA wins hands down is its consistency between scans. Right, so if I put you back on the table again, we get the same result. Literally, we've had to do it on a number of occasions over 7 years, and it's been within 50 or 100 grams. So the real thing that I say to everybody, looking to track their fat and muscle, is you're interested in consistency, right? How does that number move? And what we can be sure of with DEXA is if it moves down, you've definitely moved down, and if you change fat, we will faithfully record it, okay? So whilst that number might seem high, let me tell you about this 16 kilograms, 16.2 kilograms. I carry about 10.5 kilos, all right? But you are much taller than me, and as you grow muscle, you'll also have some intramuscular fat, okay? So there is fat there, but because so much of you is muscle, we don't visually see it on the picture. So yes,
16.2 kilos of like body fat, so the fat that you can kind of grab.
Yeah.
What's funny about that is 5 weeks ago I was 16 kilos lighter and on stage.
Really?
Like skinless.
Okay.
Shredded. So I probably could technically have been fat free.
Right.
I probably would have had a little bit.
Yeah, a little, yeah. But that's interesting. But I mean, to look at you, I don't think anyone would say you're carrying 16 kilos, but that is the case, right? Sure. And so I would say I mean, you're very tall. I say to a typical client, a male client, that once we get down to say 15 kilos, so between 10 and 15 kilos is what I would call low fat for an average guy. Okay. All right. So even by way of because you're tall, 16 kilos is still in what I would call low fat territory. But you say that a few weeks ago you were quite a bit lighter.
Yeah, much
lighter. Okay. And if we come over to this side now of the report, this is the main, the meat of the report. The amount of fat you carry in relation to your height is this number here, 4.75. Now, if we compare you to, this is a table of 12,000 men who've been scanned at Body Scan. So at 4.75, 4.75, you're actually nearly about the 30th percentile. So again, whilst you look fantastic, and I know your viewers are going to look at you and go, there's not an ounce of fat on you, you actually carry more fat for your height than 30% of all the men I've ever scanned. If we jump to your lean for height, essentially muscle for height, you're at 27.5. Okay, so we're now on the lean table, and 27.5 puts you off the end of the table. As you can see, he's off the end of the table here. by the way, there's this fat for height. So lean mass, essentially how much muscle you carry for your height is in the top 99th percentile. Just quickly look at your fat distribution, which are these three numbers here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we compare different parts of your body, your android area, your abdominal area to your gynoid, so it's a bit like hip to waist.
Yep.
Then we compare your upper body to your legs and upper body to all of your limbs. So you do actually, at this end of the table, your fat is more distributed in your limbs. This end of the table, the fat is more in your upper body, right, in your belly. And you actually have quite high ratios, meaning your fat is very much here. Right, your stubborn fat, I reckon, is in your belly.
Yeah.
Okay, and overall, as your body, you carry your fat much more in your upper body than elsewhere.
Interesting. So what I've found is post-show, when I'm very, very lean, in hypocaloric state, and when I rebound, arms will stay super lean, so I'll wear a vest, and people are like, you're shredded, right. Which is why I wear a vest and shorts. And shorts, I've got leg veins coming through, but this is gone, like this goes post-show. Right. But I do find that the further I go through an off-season, my body fat does actually redistribute quite evenly. Okay. So I'll be really interested to see if it's as if the ratios are similar. Right. Maybe 3-4 months down the line when I've recovered as such from that. So that's really interesting. Okay. So here you can see in your lean mass, we're going to plot these numbers. You've got around 6.7 kilograms of lean mass on each arm. Okay. So 6.7 kilos is off the end of the table. So your average man in his 20s carries 3.7 kilos in your 6.7. Okay. In the upper body, in your trunk, you carry 45 kilograms of lean, which again is off the end of the table. Your average man carries under 30. Okay. And in the legs, which are bigger than my trunk, is about 15.8, 15.9. Again, off the end of the table. So your lean numbers are, straight flush off the end. You're very evenly distributed lean mass left to right, as well as up to down. I was interested to see the left to right because everyone's got a stronger arm or a weaker arm. Yeah. But on here, like my weaker arm is my bigger arm. Okay. you got and that's another point to bear in mind. We're talking grams. Yeah, okay. A couple 100 grams. Yeah. 100 grams. 100 grams. So it's like, in something that weighs nearly 7 kilos. A little bit of water. Yeah. So a couple of days of Christmas. That's really good. That's really helpful. Yeah. So that is. I'm pleased that you kind of fit what I would say is a physique competitor's body. It surprises a lot of people. There are a lot of people come in here and they talk about I'm heavy boned. Yeah. How much do you think your skeleton weighs? 130 kilos. I don't know. 20, 30 kilos? 3.5. 3.5 kilos? Yeah. So the skeleton is very, very light. Very, very strong. Yeah. Well, no. So we'll just connect. Well, so the average male skeleton is 2.5 to 3.5 kilos. Okay. So you are very simply, you have a heavy skeleton, but heavy bones doesn't play a part in anyone's weight. Yeah. So another thing people have, especially bodybuilders, is people talk about, when am I going to see my abs? What percentage fat do I need to be to see my abs? And fat distribution just varies. Yeah. So I've had a guy in who was like 20% body fat and you could see his abs. I've had some at 12% and you couldn't, just because they carry their fat in a different place. No, it'd be really interesting to come back in 4 or 5 months when I've had a real push up in muscle mass. And I'll have I started at 113, I'm now 125. Like how much of that 12 kilos is what? I will be able to find out. So that'll be really interesting later on down the line for sure. All right. See you again. Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Okay, not at all. Cheers. Okay. So there we have it, guys. All done. I think for someone like me, this sort of stuff's really, really helpful because I'm trying to be symmetrical, I'm trying to be evenly distributed with body fat and whatnot, so it's really good to see that my muscle is super even. It's good to see that I'm high on the end, I'm beating people. It's good to see that I'm not technically natural, because I'm not, and it's really nice to see that I'm still not fat yet, but I think it's a very, very good insight into the true body fat percentages that people are. I've always said this when when I said it on Matt's channel, I reckon he's 18 to 22%. People started killing me for it, and he was like 16.8 or something. So it's only 1% off or so. So yeah, it was really, really helpful. What's going to be really helpful is coming back in about 4 or 5 months' time, peak blast. We've put on 10, 15 kilos. We'll see how much of that is muscle. And we can really compare those results. And then again, when we come down cutting. So Bodyscan UK, check them out. I appreciate you guys for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, something a little bit different. And we'll see you soon.